Welcome to Bangkok. I'm Keis and this is my brand new, well, it's not brand new, it's new for me. This is my new street registrable drift car and you won't believe how much I paid for this thing. So I will give you a quick look over the car and then I'll tell you all the things I need to change and fix because this is not going to be your average build. But first, let me show you how we got here because this was no easy purchase. Do you ever come across one of those deals on Marketplace that's not in an ideal location but just too good to pass up? That's today. Sawadee Krap. Highway is okay. Alright, have arrived at DMK Airport. That's right, I need to take a flight to go see this car. Sammy boy.
What's going on?
Ready?
Fancy seeing you here.
So Ubon Ratchathani is a 1 hour flight for us, and if I do end up buying this car, it's going to be a 12 to 13 hour drive to get back. So this is going to be a whole adventure. Fingers crossed, if we do buy the car, it will make it back here to Bangkok. Thank you, bye-bye. We have arrived. Good morning from Ubon Ratchathani. We got in here last night, basically just checked out the town a little bit, and then came to the hotel to crash out. So this morning, it is just after 8 o'clock now. We're off to go check out the car, and if it's good and I want to buy it, we need to try and get it back to Bangkok.
Sounds good.
The aircon works.
You're kidding me.
Test drive.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, drives nice, feels strong.
Okay.
He's impressed that we're going to drive to Bangkok. Is it okay, you think? Okay.
You think it's gonna make it?
Kofuka, thank you so much. I'm so happy. Alright, come hop in my car. Alright, made the purchase, doing the drive back to Bangkok. We don't have seatbelts, which I don't love. It's a very weird feeling driving without seatbelts.
Feels very wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, we have about a 10 to 12 hour drive back to Bangkok. Slower if we can't get the seatbelts working because I don't want to drive at full speed. But fingers crossed, we get all the way back there. I'm really happy with this. It drives really, really nice.
And there's aircon.
And there's aircon, yes. Not bad for a 35-year-old car. Well, the windscreen wipers work. Not well, but they work.
If this goes on for the next 10 hours, you're dropping me in an airport.
So we're about an hour into the trip. The car's going really well so far. Everything seems great. I'm just going to check the oil quickly and then we're going to go into a shop and buy a few things for the trip to get all the way back to Bangkok, hopefully. But yeah, so far, so good. all good. The oil level is good, the color looks great. I think we're gonna be good. So I've come to a Mr. DIY to get some essentials to hopefully get us back on the rest of the trip. I got some tire weld because there's no spare tire. Should we get a flat, this will be able to use this to limp to the nearest tire place. I'm gonna grab a phone holder and I need a power plug charger thing. So I'm gonna grab all that here and get back on the road. Bye-bye. Got it.
Alright. I'm worried if I yank it too far, it won't go back. Alright, we've semi-fixed them.
That's good enough for me. Oh, it just feels better.
Yeah.
Just don't like the idea of not having a seatbelt. So we have stopped off at this really cute little restaurant. We're sort of halfway back to Bangkok now, just getting through Isan. Stopped off at this really lovely little traditional restaurant, got a mountain of food. The car's been going great, thankfully. Now we still have half the trip to go, but the plan is, provided we make it back, as soon as I get back to Bangkok, I will show you everything you need to know about the car and talk about what my plans are. That's like, the clutch is all the way in. I can't even get it in. Well, we may have run into our first issue. The clutch feels like it's low on fluid. The clutch is engaging really, really early and it's getting worse. It's getting harder to get it into gears. So I'm gonna check the clutch fluid. Hopefully that's it, because I don't know much about clutches. It is, we're low on clutch fluid. So max is here and it's down here. So should be able to buy some here at the servo, at the gas station. Hopefully that fixes it. That is much better. I'm super relieved, because if it wasn't that, I had no idea what it was, and we were going to be spending the night here looking for a mechanic. So all good, back on the road. I hope we make it to Bangkok. So this is my 1992 Nissan Cefiro A31. It has an RB20 DET 6-cylinder turbo engine. This one has basically a straight through exhaust. It's got a front mount intercooler. I think it's been tuned because it actually puts out a little bit more power than I was expecting. It has a carbon bonnet and boot, and the body is actually surprisingly straight for a car of this age. So for those of you that aren't too familiar with this car, they share a chassis with an R32 Skyline, and all the suspension components and the subframe and everything are the same as an S13, Silvia and 180SX. Now, I chose this particular car because of the price, which I will tell you in a minute, but it does need some work done to it. The engine and driveline seem great, which is a real positive. There's no rust and it's all pretty straight, but there are quite a few things that need immediate attention, as we learnt from that long drive to bring it here. The first thing is the shocks. The rear shocks are completely dead. They're basically like a pogo stick, and if you're driving on the roads here in Thailand, there's a lot of potholes and uneven surfaces, and it really unsettles the car while driving, and it's actually a little bit dangerous. On that, the seat belts need replacing. Now, I actually have a spare set at home that I've taken off my Hilux. I will get some better ones further down the line, but I'll be able to throw these on just to get by for now. Next up is the headlights. These headlights do absolutely nothing. The drive back in the dark It was actually a little bit scary in places. We could hardly see where we were driving, and I'm assuming these are just the really old headlight globes in there. Next up is the clutch. We had that issue with the clutch fluid. I needed to top it up twice. I'm not sure if it just needed topping up or if there's a leak or an issue somewhere, so that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. But it may be nothing. It may have just been low on fluid and just needed to be topped up. The last thing is there's some weird wiring inside the car, which I don't love at all. I don't like exposed wires, especially when I don't know what they do. So I'm going to go through all that, clean it up. It's obviously had like a decent stereo and an amp in there at some point, and they've removed that, but some of the wiring is still in there. I don't know if it's connected or not. I only just found it this morning, but this is something that kind of freaks me out and I want to get on top of that ASAP. So this build is going to be, I want it to be a drift car, but I also want it to drive nice on the street. It will be a street car, it will be registered, but I want to take it to the track and drift it and have fun with it sometimes. I would also really like this thing to look good, so I will put a body kit on it, change the color, make it look nice and better wheels. Currently it's a 4 lug and I want to change that to a 5 lug so I can put some better wheels on it, just have a bit more strength there. But basically I have a lot planned for this car, and it's going to be a budget build, and it should be a whole lot of fun. So now for the question I'm sure you are dying to know, and that is, how much did I pay for this thing? And you are not going to believe this. So the asking price of this car was 55,000 Thai baht, which is insane. Turbo manuals, the cheapest ones that I have seen, all go for at least 100,000 baht. Now, non-turbo autos start at around 30,000 baht and then they go all the way up. I think this guy just didn't do enough research, or maybe he just wanted to get rid of the thing. But I put a deposit on this thing within an hour of him listing it on Facebook Marketplace. And then we pretty much flew up there the next day, grabbed it and brought it back. Now, this one is actually the 4th Cefiro that I've looked at. It's the only one that's been under 100,000 baht. And it's actually been the best one that I've looked at so far. So I just got so incredibly lucky with this car, and I can't wait to start having some fun with it.